Well, it was a tough weekend for us. Yesterday was one of those days where you want to forget it as fast as you possibly can forget it. But I think what we need to do is use it as a learning tool. Yesterday, there wasn't a lot of things that went right for us, and a lot of things that we could have controlled. We didn't do a very good job controlling it from our player standpoint and from our coaching staff as well. It was just like everything hit us at once, and we didn't really know what to do or why it was happening. But like I said, it was one of those games you want to forget, but you want to use it going forward, because the things that we talk about every single day and the things that the girls get irritated that we keep harping on them about, how to play catch, how to move your feet, the fundamentals of the game that sometimes can be taken for granted is what beat us yesterday. Indiana State played a great 2 games. They executed. They did exactly what they wanted to do, and they totally controlled what the game was gonna go, where the game was gonna go, and we didn't handle it well. And we didn't handle running bases. We didn't handle just catching and throwing, the simple facets of the game. Now, offensively, we did a fantastic job. It didn't show it on the scoreboard, but when we go back and we compare it to how we competed up to this point in the year, that was one of our best offensive performances as far as how we gauge our hitters, as far as quality at bats. We just had nothing to show for it. We had 6 line drive double play outs with runners in scoring position. We had 74% of our at bats in game 2 were quality at bats, and that's taking the pitcher deep in the count, having a good swing on the ball, doing something productive for the team. We had 74% of our at bats and nothing to show for it. So. We did something well, and at the plate, pitching wise, catching, we did not do a great job, and gave them every opportunity. So we're going to focus going forward, and know that that's in the past, and we got to focus on all the great things that we have to go and attain the rest of the season. We're going to get back to work and practice and continue to do what we do, and focus on getting better as a group, being more prepared, and really not taking for granted anything about the game. We know we got to go make it happen from here on out. So it's a great learning tool, I think, for us, is remind us every day when it becomes monotonous and it becomes tough and it becomes a grind, that if you forget about it, it's going to come back and get you, and in a way that you don't want it to ever happen. So we've got Iowa State on Wednesday. Hopefully we can handle the adversity of the weather, making sure we can try to get the game in. Not sure what we're going to do as far as that goes. It looks like 70% chance for rain, snow tomorrow, 40% on Wednesday. Just got to try to find where that window is going to be for us to be able to get that game in. And then Thursday, the same thing. So 3 days in a row here, it's going to be tough weather-wise to try to sneak a game in. We're going to do our best. And then we hit the road for Bradley, who coming off a nice weekend against Evansville this weekend, taking 2 out of 3. As far as stats goes, they have one of the best offenses in the league. They're in the top 3, hitting 297 as a group. We know that they're well coached. Pitching has been the question mark for them, but they seem to be getting good pitching at the right times and keeping themselves in ball games. And we know how dangerous they've been to us the last 3 years. They kind of had our number, so we got to be ready to go and get things back on the right track this week. Any questions?
Ryan, if the weather holds on Wednesday and this game does get played, how good would that be for your team to just come right back and get a game and not let that loss or those double losses linger for a week?
Well, I think, the best thing for us right now is to get back on the field today and practice and kind of go over the things that we didn't execute well yesterday. Just get a little bit of confidence back. But I think the next thing is get back on the field and play a game again, because at this point in the year, practice is the piece that I think makes us take things for granted. We got to play as many games as we can possibly play, and continue to work on that game experience, and that's what we're going to learn the most.
How good is Iowa State?
Iowa State's a great team. They've got some up and downs with their pitching. Offensively, they've got some really scary hitters in their lineup. Allie Kappert in the middle of their lineup, a senior for them. Just really demolished everybody in the fall in the Big Four Classic. Nobody could really get her out. She's a great hitter for them. They've got some really solid hitters around her. But they always play well. They're just very well coached, solid team. I've always said they're up against it more than any other team in the state because of who they play every weekend. They're coming off a weekend with Baylor. They go to Oklahoma State next week. They're going to have Texas and Oklahoma on the schedule, so they've got it tough, and we got to be ready to go on Wednesday.
You gave up 22 runs yesterday. What went wrong with the pitching? Were they just not on, or?
Very uncompetitive. It was. I can't put my finger on it, Gary, to be honest with you. It's one of those things that I've been struggling with for the last 24 hours. What went wrong? Why did our pitchers go from being dominant forces and not being afraid of anybody to, begging for calls and trying to look for things that they think other people have control of, and they're taking advantage of them, where they weren't doing that in the beginning of the year. They were just going out and they were competing. They were getting after it. They were attacking hitters. They weren't nibbling at corner. They were going after people and having a lot of success. And it wasn't like all of a sudden we didn't have success. It was like all of a sudden, where to go? And that was not good for us to see from a pitching standpoint. But quite honestly, when they have those days, we got to play behind them, and we didn't. We had lackadaisical, lack of hustle, what I consider uncoachable moments defensively behind people. And what I mean by uncoachable is if you're not hustling and you're not going after it, how are we supposed to coach you? Because that's why you made the mistake. And we ended up putting some kids in the lineup yesterday that had energy, and they were aggressive and they were ready to go. And when you make an aggressive mistake, which they made, some of them, we expected them to make it, but they were all coachable moments because they just needed to know and see that situation happen so that the next time it won't happen. It wasn't a lack of effort. It wasn't I'm going to go after this, and then if I don't make the play, look at somebody else to make the play for me. That's were we were at yesterday. And so as uncompetitive as I thought our pitchers were, I just thought overall defensively behind them, we weren't in any opportunity. We weren't taking any opportunity to help them out at all either. So it was a rough day for us defensively and pitching.
I know you're not looking for excuses, but how big a factor was it that it was your first home games outdoors, just that whole opening up Robinson dresser? I mean, does that factor into this way they played it all or not? I mean, is that something that... Honestly,
I thought it was going to go the other way for us. I thought we were going to be excited to play in front of people who haven't seen us play yet, to be at home where we're, obviously we make our kids do a lot more work on the field than most teams will ever do. And they pick up a rake every single day, and they pick up trash every single day, and they put things into our field and our facility that other people don't have to. And you would think that would be a prideful thing for them. Like, hey, this team's coming in here to play us. It's our opening day. Let's get after it. Let's go out and play with a lot of energy and a lot of focus, and be proud of what we're doing. And it was like we were just going to step on the field and expect Indiana State to just let us win. And that was what was disappointing. And I don't think I would ever use the excuse of it's a different atmosphere, because it should be more of a special atmosphere rather than oh my gosh, we've never been here before.
Kate Kinnitz hit a home run yesterday. How special was that for her? I know you want to win, but how cool was that for her?
She was excited. She was very excited. And I know, in this sport, more than any, there's a lot of individual moments, but it comes down to the team. And Kate's one kid that I know that would give that home run up for us to win. And we got to get more kids on that page. And two kids that hit home runs yesterday are two kids that I would pick out today and say 100% I know that they would give up any individual thing. Her and Brooke Craig would say, I'll go 0 for 4 and I'll have my worst day as long as we win. So for Kate to do that was special for her. Unfortunately, it was in a situation where it wasn't probably as special for her because we lost. Anybody else? Thank you.